You dare to walk this path with me? One misstep, and we fall to our ruin. So take your first step. It's now or never!
What is up, YouTube? It's Rsmario here, bringing you another Fire Emblem Three Houses video. Alright, so it's been a while since I've done one of these kind of news videos, like covering like the Famitsu stuff. Mainly because, well, I've just been doing other stuff with other videos. But I decided to go ahead and cover some of the information from the big Famitsu release. And as well as cover some other things. Now, I'll also be doing a separate video specifically about all the classes in Fire Emblem Fates. Fire Emblem Three Houses. That way, you know, we'll have information on those as well, seeing as though a lot of the advanced classes were announced in the previous Famitsu article. So I'll go over all the classes, because I did miss some, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just do them all in one nice video, which will be awesome. But let's go! So in this video, I'm going to be covering the new villains, the new characters, and some of the game mechanics and places you can go inside the monastery. So as far as new characters, probably the biggest ones we have are the new villains, and they're called the Nightcrawlers in Japanese. And it's actually pretty interesting. We've actually seen these people before in the E3 trailer, but we have official names and bios, kind of, sort of, for them. The first one being Salon, or Salon. I'm going by the Japanese names, by the way. I'm not really using the English names. I can update with the English names, because honestly, when I wrote this, the Japanese names were the only ones that were out. But Salon, he's basically like the mage guy who's talking about like the power of the failed star even absorbs the darkness. He's that guy in the trailer. You know, so he's a mage suitable for his appearance. He uses cunning schemes and tricks, and he's a highly dangerous individual. Of course he is. He's a villain. He's supposed to be dangerous. Then we have Karanji, who is another one, a member of the Nightcrawlers, and I'm not sure if she's a member by choice or not, because there's a scene in the trailer where it looks like she's getting choked out. More than likely, she is a member by choice, and she just screws up something, thus she gets the Vader treatment. And then, of course, we have our Darth Vader himself, Thalos, who is the leader of the Nightcrawlers, which is what this organization is called. And we see him kind of like activating this transmutation circle looking deal in the trailer. So, interesting thing about these guys is they get brought up in the trailer where we see the time, where we find out there's a time skip. And I think there's a reason for that, because these people are specific to the time skip. So I think these are Phase 2 enemies, whereas the Phase 1 enemies are going to be like the Skull Knight, Reaper Knight, and of course the Flame Emperor, seeing as though those two actually seem connected to each other, but not to these guys. So I think, you know, they are going to be the enemies for Phase 1, seeing as though they're also seemingly tied to the school. And since Phase 1 is focused around the school, I think they're the enemies for Phase 1. And then Phase 2 is going to be these guys and whatever their plan is, more than likely trying to bring back Nemesis. Now, the real question here is, what is the connections here? Because obviously Nemesis is some distant relative of Byleth and Gerald. That's something that's kind of a given. Even Thalos looks kind of like evil Gerald to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's interesting to see that there are connections there. Not to mention what makes Nemesis so special, because we know that he has a seal, a crest, and only specific people have crests, like heroes or saints. So he must fall into that category. More than likely, he's probably a fallen saint. You know what I'm saying? He also has a hero relic, which I'm going to get to later in the video, which is the Sword of the Creator, or the Crusty Blade, which, it definitely makes him special in some way. So he was a member of the church, or at least important to the church and to Syros at one point, seeing as though the sword that bears her names, and she's the goddess, and she's probably the creator, is given to him. More than likely, he was a saint. And we're going to have some kind of like God, Lucifer type of comparison going on here. So the other characters we have are Casper. His personal ability is Quarreler. So in his bio, he specifically wants to become a martial artist. So I can see definitely he's gonna get the gauntlets if he's on my team. He's getting the gauntlets, bruh. You shall be a martial artist, good sir. But Quarreler, adjacent foes receive a void -10. So basically, it makes people around him easier to hit. He has no crest, so he's a commoner, which is interesting. No, actually, I don't think he's a commoner, because in his bio, it says that he is not the heir to his house, which is interesting. So only the heir apparent to whatever house you come from gets a crest. So he just got screwed in that one. Of course, we have Linhardt, whose personal ability is Doze Off. So if unit waits without performing an action, it restores 10% HP. So that's pretty cool. Like, I can see him being like a big heavy, you know what I'm saying, like a big like paladin, you know what I'm saying, and like say, you know, you can move him, he'll get to do an attack, and then he'll just chill for a turn, get some energy back, and continue pushing. He also has the minor crest of Sidhilin. I think that's how you say that, and that's a saint crest. So it's a little bit different from the hero crests. I wonder if their abilities are different too. Petra, so her personal ability is Hunter's Law. So when foe has less than 50% HP, you get a critical hit +20, which, damn, that's crazy. So essentially, she has, so if the person is under half energy, it's almost guaranteed a kill with a critical hit, which it shows why in one of the trailers they show her getting a crit, because her ability buffs her getting crits, and she's a commoner. She has no crest. We have Annette, whose personal ability is Hard Worker. So when rally command is used on an ally, it grants +4 strength. So I'm guessing when she uses a rally, it gives her +4 strength. So that's pretty cool. Like, if there's a rally that gives you strength and everybody around you strength, then you get extra strength from your own personal ability. And she has the minor crest of Dominique. So she's got a hero crest. Cannot talk today. We have Sylvain. So Sylvain's an interesting character, because I read this. I didn't go through all of the bios. I actually looked at it. There's actually a pretty cool video on Lucky Crit's channel that goes through all the bios for all the characters. If you want to get the bios, you can check out that video, or either check out the official coverage of all the bios, because they've released them all on Fire Emblem Twitter. But he's like the big brother of his house, and his personal ability is Ladies Man. So he does try to like hit on chicks. When adjacent to a female ally, damage dealt to the foe is +2, and damage received is -2. So I think there's a similar ability for females. I think it's one of the chicks has a similar ability like that when she's around a male unit. Then we have Ingrid, whose ability is Lady Knight. I like Ingrid. I don't know why. She just seems cool. When using Gambit, Might +3 and hit rate +5. So she has a better chance of hitting. She has a better chance of connecting with her Gambit, and it's a little bit stronger. And she has the crest of Daphneal, who's one of the 10 elites. So then we have Ignatz. Why would you name your child Ignatz? Really? I mean, I guess it works in like this kind of fantasy setting, but in real life, your child will have a horrible childhood. Hey, look, it's Ignatz. Let's see. Personal ability is Keen Observation. So this character is going to be the Armin of the group. Even looks kind of like Armin. You know what I'm saying? Hit rate plus 20. Whew, that's a nice little hike. That's a nice little hike in the hit rate. So I can see this character getting like maybe putting this character for like archery, or maybe even giving them like an axe. You know what I'm saying? Since axe classes usually have lower hit rate and lower skill, so this can kind of make him an above average axe user, kind of. Marianne, personal ability, animal lover. So when adjacent to a horseback or flying ally, it restores 20% of HP at the start of the turn. So, and this one's kind of interesting because it doesn't say if it restores her HP or the ally. I'm thinking it's hers. And she has the minor crest of something. So, you know, so she has an unknown minor crest, which is interesting. And then our last new character is Leone. She's the daughter of a hunter who's training to become a money-making mercenary. She's the protagonist's father's self-proclaimed top student. So she knows you and she works with your dad. She probably has worked in his mercenary group along with you, so you would probably know her. It'll be interesting if she's kind of like the maid of the party. Because if you remember in Fates, I think it was the maid chick who would join you whatever side you went to. It would be interesting if Leone was like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, since she kind of knows you and she kind of really looks up to your dad, like she could follow you to whatever house you go to. Because you can also recruit people from other houses by giving them gifts. So that's another thing that was in the news. I just kind of picked out pieces that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, so you can recruit people from other houses. I kind of figured they would have a mechanic like that. Because, I mean, technically, you know, they can jump from class to class, you know. I mean, oh, I want to go to that teacher's class. Can you know. I guess that's understandable. And it's a lot easier than, say, defecting from your country. But it's also possible that they'll actually be with you in the war phase, which is the second phase, too.